Okay, good to go. So we actually, I thought today I will start with the last module. That is our module number 5. Uh, this, if you go to the syllabus, I think you have the syllabus. So in module number 5, we are to start with some of the factors that influence vulnerability, and then mostly some of the case studies, how some developmental works supposedly taken by the government can alter the existing state of vulnerability among the population. But before that, I thought that we have we have another 1 or 2 weeks of classes, so that chapter will not take much of time. Uh, in between, I can actually show you some of the disasters which are being captured from the satellites. So nowadays we have Earth observation satellites which are constantly looking at the Earth below, and then many of the satellites are engaged in order to capture the information which are essential in finding out the state of the hazard or the disaster itself. So let us start with our first slide. So previously, there are many satellites which are here, as you can see it on the screen. But if I go to explain in detail how the mechanism of capturing data and then what is the process of analysis, maybe it will take another one whole semester. But rather than going into the detailed part of how to capture data and what the satellites are constructed, I will show you the end product here. So here on the screen, here you see, what do you see here on the screen? Can you see the screen first? I would ask all of you to be actively participating in the class rather than switching on the mobile and then going somewhere else. What do you see here on the screen?
Ocean, sir.
Okay, so
Ocean and land.
good, ocean and land. So here is a satellite image which is captured on 18th of October 2019. And then, as you can see, there are two parts. One is the ocean part, visibly towards the south, and then the other one is the land part. So this was taken in some area in Uruguay. So where is Uruguay? Uruguay is one of the South American countries. Okay, also you can say it is a Latin American country. And then why do you think there is a disaster situation here? First of all, that you'll have to question yourself. So as you see, there is an ocean part and then there is a land part. The ocean color is visibly getting dirty. So one of the reasons of this dirty color is the contribution of these sediments by some of the rivers which are actually falling into the ocean. So here it is saying that there are two rivers. One is the Parana and the other one is the Uruguay River itself. So where is these two rivers? So as you can go to the north in the screen, I don't know if you can see my cursor. You can see one river here visibly in the dark color, and then ultimately the waters in this river, and then they are falling into the delta area, and then wherever the mouth of the river is, you see the color of the ocean is changing. So this is one of the contributing rivers which is carrying a lot of sediments, And then the sediments are contributing to the discolorization of the normal turquoise color of the ocean. So if there are a lot of sediments uh, which has been carried by a river, why do you think that it may be a situation of concern? First, that is the question. And second question may be, from this image, what other information can be extracted which may be meaningful in uh, assessing the extent of the situation or the hazard? The first question was, why do you think if there are a lot of sediments which have been carried by a river, a particular river, it may be a situation of concern, or you can categorize it into some form of a disaster? First of all, do you have some answers? So in our northeastern India, do you see a similar situation? Do you see some rivers which carry a lot of sediments? And then these rivers ultimately contribute to the waters in the Brahmaputra. Think about some of the tributaries. Those are from Arunachal Pradesh. I think for them, you should be able to answer this
Yes,
question.
yes. That is common for us, even in our near my home.
You see? So where is your home? May I ask?
Just near, sir, Itanagar.
Yes, so in Itanagar, we have some tributaries, or supposedly in the west, East Siang, there are many tributaries which are contributing to a lot of sediments or siltation in the downstream of the river. So, if there is a lot of sedimentation that is happening into a particular river, it is an indication that there is somewhere soil erosion occurring in the catchment or the basin. So, if there are a lot of soils which are being eroded from the catchment or the basin, then why is it a concern? Because soils carry together with them the nutrients which are essential for us to grow crops. Okay? So if the nutrients from a particular catchment is constantly washed away, then the productivity of the land will decrease. Not only the productivity of the land will decrease, there must be some reasons why these nutrients are getting lost. You need to ask. So there may be some form of deforestation. It may be happening in the catchment. So if there is deforestation happening, it may lead to a lot of landslides, which may occur in the particular successive basins. So first of all, there is soil erosion happening in the upstream of the river in this particular image, which should be of concern. Then secondly, sometimes you need to investigate what is the cause of the soil erosion, and then if you really analyze the upper part of the catchment, then probably you will notice that there may be some form of deforestation which may be happening. So deforestation, soil erosion ultimately may be leading to loss of productivity in the basin, and it may lead also to landslides. So this is not a problem only in our place, but this is in Southern America also, which is being captured by the satellite known as Sentinel-2 by the Copernicus mission. And the second question that I was asking, what other information can we extract from this satellite image? So in order to answer that, if you really go on to study remote sensing in detail, I think I will be taking one class of remote sensing in your survey. So currently, whatever geoinformatics or geomatics class has been going on, one chapter, the last chapter, I think that is on remote sensing, I will take on this Saturday. Okay. So be there. Uh, and then from this image, you may be able to calculate the amount of sedimentation simply by looking at the various colors in the satellite image. So You see, so you can estimate the amount of soil erosion that is happening at a particular day, and then if you have successive images, you can calculate the amount of soil erosion that may be occurring in one particular season. That would be useful for preparedness, and at the same time that will be useful for mitigation work. So how much of a forest you have to really go on reforesting? What are the crucial areas which need most of the attention? So on and so forth. Those kind of information can be retrieved from the satellite images. Okay. This is I'd say before this, I'd like to show you another image, which is mostly everybody are talking about throughout the disaster management class here also. So, what is this? Do you think in this slide? What do you see? Again,
It's iceberg.
yeah, very good. So you see, this is ice. So this ice is actually being captured from the northern pole. So this is an image that is captured from August 16, 1987 by one satellite known as Landsat 5. So Landsat 5 is actually a free satellite. You can also download the data and then you can go on analyzing. So this is an ice cover in the northern part or the northernmost part of our globe. So as we are talking about global warming and then sea level rise, this is uh, supposedly the most crucial uh, disaster humans have faced in the entire civilization or entire history. So there are evidences of this threat, mostly observed in the northernmost part where the ice is normally covered with sea. Oh, sorry, sea is normally covered with ice. So here, as you see, in between the ices, there are small, tiny blue dots. So these dots are nothing but these are the glacier lakes, or the lakes which are there in the ice cover. So you see on the left cornermost screen, there is some fraction of the ice which is starting to break away from the major part. This is from 1987, and then particularly from August 16. So if we overlay an image of this particular area, but on a later day, with simply visual comparison, you will be able to see the difference. So that is what I am going to show now. Okay, please look at the screen. Now, what do you see? We see the same area. Look at the lowermost left-hand part of the screen. This is another image of 2019, July 30. So how many years have passed? Sorry, 1987 to 2019. So that is the time difference. Same area. So we see this lower left corner getting bigger and bigger, and then the glacier lakes at the same time becoming bigger with water. So this is an evidence that the ice is actually melting, and then it is melting at a very fast rate. So what is the conclusion? The melt area of the ice sheet of 2019 here so far totals almost 1 million square kilometer. So this much of an area has already been lost. And this is only on this particular scene. Okay? Some appears to be blue as forms in 2019 image from Landsat 8. So this is the same series of satellites, and then you see the glacial lakes becoming bigger and bigger. Okay, so that means there are punctures which are being occurring on these ice sheets, and at the same time, major part of the ice is already being lost. You look at the left-hand side of the screen. See the difference. So this is one of the very much, how to say, important and crucial observations which we are being able to capture using satellites, which actually is the biggest disaster of mankind. So we are talking about ice melting, sea level rising, and these are the evidences. Okay, so another evidence of the same thing of sea level rise and then global warming is being observed in this uh, particular image itself. So it's the same image, similar to the comparison that we have drawn, but of a different area. So this first image is from 2001. This is on February 14th, which has been taken by Landsat 7 series of satellites. So there is one ice shelf, which is known as burned ice shelf, is written there. And then on a later day, you see there is what? What is this? We see chasm one. So this is actually a split which is occurring in this. In cannot hear. What is it? What is the question? I missed your question. Hello.
That was not question. That was echo of your sound, sir.
No one is asking anything? I thought someone was asking. Okay, so this is from 2019 again. You see, we see a distinguished pattern of a split in the ocean ice here, which is known as Sagem 1. So this is the burned ice shelf. So what is the conclusion? The latest ice shelf to make headlines is the burned ice shelf in Antarctica. So if it is in Antarctica, so this is the southern pole, okay? So it says two large rifts in the ice are rapidly stretching towards each other and may soon create a large iceberg. So once this split meets this northern end, then ultimately this big chunk of ice will just be drifting away from the main ice part, and then this will be drifting in the ocean uh, as a ice bar. And then this is happening. This is due to the global warming, and these are the evidences that you see with your own eyes. Okay. Another. So here, as we are talking about early warnings in some of our earlier lectures, so this is one example of how the improvement of modern day technology has been able to contribute to the early warning part. So first on the left hand side, you see there is a cyclone forming on the Bay of Bengal. This is in 2013. The name of the cyclone was Phylline. I think you have probably heard about this when it came and then hit our land part. So this is the formation of the, let's say, the cyclone on October 7th. You can see the eye. On October 8th, you can see the eye, and around this eye there are gusts and winds getting bigger and bigger. And then on 10th, you see or you observe the movement of the cyclone. And on October 12th in 2013, it is the time when the cyclone actually has hit these coastal areas of Andhra Pradesh and then Orissa. Okay, so nowadays uh, we have, I think the light is gone and I will be disconnected because I am in the office. Maybe I don't know how far I will continue. Anyway, so you just see this soon enough, and then the light will be disconnected. Okay, can you see? Can you see? Okay. I don't know.